ask you guys, since the 2020 protests we saw last year and it kind of galvanized the show into, people's faces, has anything changed since last year? Like, I'm talking about even just for you or, even what you've seen in the media.
I mean, for me personally, not really much, honestly. I mean, my vision and my view of the country is kind of still the same. There's still a lot of work to be done. I think the protest last year opened a lot of eyes. It opened a lot of ears. There were a lot of discussions had, and I think throughout the year we have some people who are kind of riding the fence still. I think that there's still a lot of people who need to make a decision as to what kind of person they want to be, both in front of cameras and behind closed doors. I think the community and the way the world has been working with our political and justice system, we're seeing, more victories, but it's still not enough. There's still not enough coming through. There's a lot of things that happen. I won't go into too detail. I missed all my opportunities, but you know what? For what it's worth, I'll say I'm glad to see some justices happening. And I'm glad to see things moving in a better direction. We're not sitting here watching loss after loss after loss. So hopefully everything moves forward in a better format.
Well, I agree with Angelique. A lot has changed. There are some things that are proving for the better. There have been some victories. I don't want people to think that those victories have now become, the end all be all, because there's a lot more that has to be done. I think we're on the right path, but there's still a lot of people that are still with the wrong train of thought. And we need to get to them to make them understand that, yes, all lives matter. But when you subject a particular sector to not being, in existence, that's a problem. So we need to get people to wake up and recognize that it's not just all lives, but yes, the ones you've had in the past that you didn't recognize, let's catch them up. And then we can say at that point, all lives matter equally together.
I think, and right after the election, I think I told you this, Sean, but right after the election, I created this nonprofit organization, and it's called Council for Racial Justice. And I feel like what has changed is that people are, at least, families of those who have been railroaded through the system are becoming a little bit bolder. In wanting, in saying, okay, it's not like just put your hands up and say, okay, young Black man, and that's it. It's, life in prison. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a little bit more expectations. There's a little bit more hope. And so in that sense, I think it has been positive. Because our organization, our nonprofit, deals with wrongfully convicted. So, we speak to a lot of the families, and the families, prior to the BLM, movement becoming a little, in the forefront of news, people were just a lot more kind of given up attitude.
Yeah, no, I think in retrospect, since we have a moment to kind of just harp on the situation a little bit, Christina, I love your initiative, by the way. I don't think we actually talk about it enough. I think that we should really kind of highlight it and really talk about its existence and exactly what it is that you do, because I think people would be very interested to hear more about it. And have you speak about it even maybe possibly on more platforms, because it's a great initiative.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to. I mean, it's just, especially now that it's really kind of gone off the ground, we have actually cases that we've been able to help, and people, avoiding charges, getting charges dismissed, or, getting people back into court after they've been in court for 10, 15 years and over some stupid thing that no one has caught, because no one really cares. No one looks at it like with the attitude that, listen, one wrongful conviction is a stain on our society. And, that's what the organization is about. There should not be a single wrongfully convicted person.
Yeah. There has been the only change for me that I would want to see more is that the whole thing with Ahmaud Arbery, if there wasn't a film, like a phone video of that, he would have not have saw justice. You know what I mean? So we have to continue the conversations, just like what Dr. Palin is doing. And our other co-host, Brandy, is with us. So we were just talking about what has changed for you in the last year's protests. You know what I mean? Like, so we saw a lot of uprising. We saw Kyle Rittenhouse. We saw what happened to Ahmaud Arbery. What's changed for you since last year? Because we saw some verdicts come out in those cases.
A lot of things have changed since the protests. I think a lot of people in general are just scared to like go out and really do anything or be a part of anything because they're scared for their lives. They're scared of the retaliation. They're scared that everybody has a camera now. They're scared of all kinds of things. I used to go to protests and all kinds of stuff back in the day, and it's just a different world now.
Okay. All right.